Roswell is a very sought-after suburb on the north side of Atlanta and has three distinctly different areas you should learn about before moving to Roswell. And today I'm going to go through some of the pros and cons of living in these three different areas, all within the city of Roswell. But before we get started, my name is Ryan Ward and I'm the broker and owner of Premier Atlanta Real Estate. On this channel, I talk about all things real estate relevant to the Atlanta and the national real estate markets, and I provide tips, training, and education helpful to consumers and real estate professionals alike. So if that's of interest to you, consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I post a new video. All right, before moving to Roswell, I think it's really important to get a good idea of the different areas because each have their own unique characteristics, and you should know about all three before choosing which one is right for you. Roswell is located along the Georgia 400 corridor of North Fulton County. Georgia 400 runs north and south, splitting Roswell into an east and a west section. The East Roswell side of Georgia 400 is simply referred to as East Roswell, and the west side is split into West Roswell and Downtown Roswell. From Georgia 400 and Holcomb Bridge Road, you're about 30 to 45 minutes away from any of the major Atlanta employment centers. Alpharetta and the top-end perimeter area of Sandy Springs and Dunwoody are probably the two closest, with commute times that range probably between 15 and 20 minutes. However, go too far east or go too far west in Roswell, and that commute can get quite long very quickly, especially if you have to go all the way down to Midtown or downtown Atlanta. So just a quick bit of history here. Roswell is named after a man named Roswell King, and the city essentially started as a small mill town with water power from Vickery Creek and the Chattahoochee Rivers running what was called the Roswell Manufacturing Company. The ruins of some of the mills and the dam built to harness the power of Vickery Creek can still be seen at Old Mill Park. It's one of the most photographed areas in Roswell and very popular for wedding and engagement photo shoots, and it's really cool to see in person too. In fact, we've had our photo shoots done there, and you can see some of the pictures right over here. Okay, I think that most people living in Roswell would agree that Roswell has some of the best parks anywhere in Georgia, and they're basically everywhere. Regardless of which section of Roswell you live in, this is one thing all three areas have in common. There are sports complexes convenient to everyone, like the East Roswell Park and the Roswell Area Park on the west side that's convenient to downtown and to West Roswell. And there are amazing running trails like the ones at Vickery Creek Basin, and there are bike paths and parks that run along Riverside Drive and Azalea Drive, all along the Chattahoochee River, and all of these are convenient no matter which section of Roswell that you live in. But when it comes to enjoying the outdoors, I have to say it's a tie between East Roswell with access to Big Creek and the proximity to the Chattahoochee parks, along with downtown Roswell, because if you live in West Roswell, you'll probably find yourself driving to downtown for their outdoor spaces. So next up is retail shopping, and it differs depending on where you are. The west side has all of the major retail stores along Crossville Road you might want for everyday shopping, something like Target or Chick-fil-A or Home Depot. And West Roswell beats out East Roswell in this aspect. This is an area that East Roswell definitely lags behind the other two areas in. But North Point Mall is on the east side and is convenient to Roswell, but it's located just north in Alpharetta. It's not far away, it's just not Roswell. That said, this is definitely an area where downtown Roswell begins to show its unique and local charm, and the walkability and diverse shopping wins the day. And even though North Point Mall is technically not in Roswell, it offers residents in East Roswell more shopping than is available in West Roswell. So for shopping, I give the nod to downtown and then to East Roswell, and in last place, I give to West Roswell. Now, before going too far, I want to spend a few minutes on downtown Roswell, as it's one of the coolest downtown areas anywhere in Georgia. The main thoroughfare running through downtown is Canton Street, and it's loaded with amazing restaurants and boutique shops, and it's full of rich history and points of interest. If you live in Roswell, you'll eventually need to do some of the tours offered at places like Barrington and Bullock Halls, and you have to take a walk down to the Old Mill and Waterfall and across the covered bridge at Old Mill Park. Downtown is also the only truly walkable area in Roswell, so if this is important to you, just know that this is the only place it's possible. During the summer months, Roswell hosts what's called Alive in Roswell, which is a free festival held on the third Thursday of the month from April through October. There's something for everyone at this event, and it's been a staple in downtown Roswell for years. So moving on to restaurants, this one is easy. Downtown Roswell is the clear winner, with more options for food than either West or East Roswell. You can get a sandwich for lunch, tacos anytime, and the restaurants there range from anything from casual all the way up to one of the best steakhouses anywhere in Metro Atlanta. I have to say, as a bit of a foodie, that East and West Roswell do have some excellent restaurants as well. It's just not as diverse with its options as available in downtown, and especially not within walking distance of each other. All right, so now let's talk real estate. Real estate prices on the east and west side are generally the same and more expensive near the downtown areas. The east side of Roswell is mostly made up of subdivisions, and it has two large, very well-known golf and country club communities called the Country Club of Roswell Willow Springs and Horseshoe Bend Country Club. It also has another very large sought-after neighborhood called Martin's Landing that has its own outdoor area right on the Chattahoochee River. Downtown Roswell, like many downtown areas in Metro Atlanta, has the most sought-after location of the three sections of the city and has the highest price per square foot of the three. Just about anything within walking distance to Canton Street is likely to get multiple offers, and if it's an older house, it'll probably be completely renovated or torn down and replaced with new construction, and that's probably going to be over $1 million. Homes for sale in West Roswell closely match the prices in East Roswell, but West Roswell does have a bit of a different feel than East Roswell because the homes tend to be just a bit more spread out than they are on the east side. Brookfield Golf and Country Club is on the west side if you prefer the west side and are also looking for a golf community. The downside for West Roswell is that it generally takes longer to get to the highways and for a commute to work, and just getting to other areas of Atlanta takes more time from the west side. East and West Roswell are both mostly subdivisions, many of which are swim tennis, and downtown is made up of a number of older neighborhoods with fewer swim tennis options. There are luxury homes and townhome communities in all three sections. And the average cost of a home in Roswell is similar to the surrounding cities of Johns Creek and Alpharetta, and it's lower than the neighboring cities of Milton and Sandy Springs. And overall, it's about 30% higher than the Metro Atlanta average home sales price. As for housing, I give the nod to East Roswell because I think you can get a little more house for your money than you can in the other two areas. However, if you value walkability, then downtown will be the better choice for you. A very small side note, and something else we get asked about from time to time, are libraries, and each area has a public library that's easy to get to, so there's going to be no winner in this category. Now, I wouldn't be giving an objective comparison if I didn't mention traffic. Another point that's pretty much a tie and a con for all three areas, and certainly not a great selling point, is no matter where you are in Roswell, you'll probably find a good bit of traffic. Holcomb Bridge Road runs east and west across Georgia 400 and pretty much always has traffic. If you live in Roswell and you commute to work, there's a good chance you'll need to take Georgia 400, which backs up in the morning and again in the afternoon. If you live on the west side, there are no major highways anywhere near you, so your commute will either be back roads or a long trip just to get to either Georgia 400 or even I-75. If you live on the east side, it's either Georgia 400 or back roads. If I had to pick a winner here, I would say that downtown Roswell has the most ways in and out to avoid traffic. A quick note about schools. It's definitely not my place to determine what schools are best, and I wouldn't dream of picking a winner here. Public schools in Roswell are part of the Fulton County school system, and test scores are above average pretty much across the board. There are also several private schools located on the east and the west side of Georgia 400, so there should be a good school choice for anyone looking at Roswell because of schools. So that about sums it up for strengths and weaknesses of each of the different areas you should know about before choosing an area to live in Roswell. Driving through each area looks different visually, so I absolutely recommend you check out all three areas in a car before making a decision. We all have our own list of important considerations, and I certainly haven't answered every question you may have. Please feel free to reach out to me directly or leave a comment or a question, and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Thanks for watching.